everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would answer a question that I get asked a lot, which is, how did I get into med school? What was my journey to med school? What route did I take? What undergrad did I do? Just to clarify, medicine is my undergraduate degree. In Ireland, you don't do an undergrad before you go to med school. You go directly from secondary school or high school. Essentially, the aim of today's video is to clarify what route I took into medicine and also maybe give you a little tiny bit of an insight into my experience. There are many different routes to medicine. The route that I took is just one of many different ways to get in. Whichever way you get in, it doesn't really matter. You'll become a doctor at the end of the day. My journey to medicine began in 5th year because here in Ireland, one of the main ways you can get into medicine is through doing the Leaving Cert and the HPAT. The Leaving Cert is the exam that you do at the end of secondary school, and it examines what you've done in 5th year and in 6th year. Usually you do like 7 subjects, but there are people who do 8 subjects. And what happens is you do the exam, you get your percentage, each grade has a set amount of points, and they count the top 6 grades. So my subjects were English, Irish, Maths, which are the core subjects. As my choice subjects, I did geography, biology, and chemistry. As my European language, I did French. A lot of people do extra subjects outside of school. Sometimes the school gives you the option of having extra subjects. What happens is you either do high level or ordinary level in whatever subject you're doing, and you're graded from either H1 to H8 or an O1 to an O8, depending on the percentage that you got. And then each grade has a set amount of points. If you do high level maths, if you pass that, you get 25 extra points, just because they want people to do math. So the highest you can get is 625 points, and that's if you get 6 H1s and one of them has to be maths. I did 7 Leaving Cert subjects and all of them were high level. I also did high level maths. Usually you would do the Leaving Cert and you'd get your grades, but for us that wasn't the case because of lockdown, because of the pandemic. Things didn't go as planned, and instead of the Leaving Cert, what we got was predicted grades. I didn't really mind if we were getting predicted grades or if we were gonna do the exam because I was kind of confident I was worried, but I was still confident about what kind of grades that I would get in the Leaving Cert, and that wasn't my main worry. My main worry was this exam called the HPAT. The HPAT is the Health Professionals Admissions Test, which is an exam that you do in February. I can't even talk. The exam that you do in February, the February of the year that you're going into medicine. So I started my course in 2020, so I would have done the HPAT in 2020. And the thing about the Leaving Cert is that once you do your exam, once you get that certificate, it's yours for the rest of your life. You can use that whenever you want. You can be 70 years old and decide you want to go into a course, apply to the CAO and use them points, and they're with you for the rest of your life. But with the HPAT, they sort of like expire. The year that you're going into medicine is the year that you do your HPAT. The HPAT for me was the bane of my existence. It was causing me the most stress in my life. I absolutely hated the HPAT. I didn't understand what the significance of it was and how any of the questions that we did related to medicine. I cannot remember a single question that I've done in the HPAT where I'm using it now. In the interpersonal section, you're gonna learn how to be empathetic because you learned about other people's experiences. Throughout 6th year, when I was doing like practice exams, I was consistently doing really bad. I doing really bad percentiles. That's why I was so afraid of the exam, because I had never done an exam and gotten a percentile which was okay for getting into medicine. And usually that's, I think, over the 70th or 80th percentile. I'd get maximum like the 60th percentile. That was like the maximum. I would get as low as 20th percentile. And so I was really worried. After February, I did my exam, then there was lockdown. I got my HPAT results, and I think I have the video and I'll put it here if I find it. my results. I was not happy. I got 168 points. I got the 70 something percentile. So yeah, I was not happy with my HPAT results. I got 168 points, which would mean that I would have to get 625 points. You know, I was very, very afraid because I got higher than my percentiles that I would get in my practice exams, but I still felt like it wasn't enough. And throughout 5th year and 6th year, my whole aim was getting 625 points, the maximum I could get, because I knew how important the HPAT was, and I knew like how important 1 point difference is to getting into medicine. Like if you look at the point difference from one course to the other, it ranges from 729, 730, you know, and because everyone is getting predicted grades, I knew that it would be even higher. So when the Leaving Cert results came out and I calculated the points that I got, I still wasn't like confident that I'd get in, because I knew that the points would go up, especially for medicine. I was hearing a lot in the news that everyone wanted to be a doctor because of the pandemic, and everyone wanted to be health professionals, and the amount of people applying went up as well. So I was like, I'm up against even more people. But you know, the day the results came out, so happy. I got a text on my phone before the CAO opened saying that I was offered a place at RCSI, and I was really, really happy. Is it real? Is it? I don't even know. It's not even 2 p.m. yet. Okay, so RCSI is my dream college, and I don't know, like, I'm not sure because you can't log in to the CAO website until 2 p.m. But I got an offer. I got a text. So I got a text. Oh my god, there's no one at home. There's literally no one at home by myself, and I'm freaking out. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, breathe. Okay. No, I can't believe it. I have to wait until 2 p.m. and then check on the CAO website. Is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. I'm freaking out. My eyebrows are messed up. I didn't even do my eyebrows. So that is in terms of my journey to medicine, in terms of like academic stuff and exams and all of that. Now I'm going to be talking more about my school experience and the last 2 years mostly of secondary school. So in 5th year, so overall, my school was a really great school in terms of like the teachers and the facilities that we have. I'm very thankful for all of that, but there's always a but. The admin, the administration in the school was not so great. I think going there has taught me a lot about microaggressions and like how much influence and how much power that teachers and principals have over their students. I never really thought of that going to school. I always thought of it was like a business kind of transaction thing. I didn't ever think in my head that, oh, I was under the care of these people and they had more power over me and influence over how I felt, because I absolutely hated the experience of going to school. I hated how I felt. I hated how I was treated. I didn't really understand that it was not okay to be treated like that. I didn't want to think in my head that these people could do stuff like that, and I think most of them were like not educated and they didn't understand what they were doing was bad. And I'm gonna say this, but there's a lot of like who feel very offended whenever you bring anything up, any of their behaviors that have affected you or hurt you, or you think that it's inappropriate. I was a shy girl going like 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, and then in 5th year and 6th year I was like the most respectful human being that there was. I would never like shout at anyone, I would never get in trouble, no detentions, no notes, none of that. And I remember whenever I would bring up something in the most respectful way I could, I would bring it up and try to be like an adult about it, because at this time I was essentially an adult in 5th year and 6th year. Between me and my classmates, there was like a small like age gap, and I was like the eldest in my group. And I myself saw myself as an adult. Like I finished when I was 20, finished secondary school when I was 20. So imagine like me, a 20-year-old, going to some teachers or going to like the principal or the vice principal and then talking to them in the most respectful way I can, and I would bring up things. A lot of people would get offended. The way they would make me feel like I was the one who was the angry person. Like looking back at it, especially like over the summer, I was looking back at it and I was saying like how could someone be so ignorant? Yeah, but the thing was that a lot of the teachers, whenever things like this would come up and they would say things about, you know, my hijab or about other people's hair, like, you know, black hair, I would say something and then it would be a whole thing, like, you know, we'd take away your badge, or oh, the way you're acting will take away the hijab from the school uniform and you won't be allowed to do that. Whenever anything like that came up, the majority of the teachers were really, really supportive, and they would talk up and they would get angry and they would say something as well. My teachers were like the best people that could be in that situation, but mostly it was the administration, and it's really sad to see, because in my school, the more diverse it gets, the more stuck in their ways that they are, the less they're willing to change or adapt or learn or get educated. They love to preach like acceptance to us. You have to learn how to accept other people's cultures, like other people's religions, and they would tell us to do that. Whenever it was like us asking for acceptance and us asking for, you know, being able to listen and appreciate other people's cultures and faiths, it was like turned against us, that we're the ones who had to change, which I find hilarious, because I've lived in a country that is a completely different culture than the culture that I grew up in, and I have learned from a very young age how to accept cultures. I am very frustrated looking back at it, and I wish I knew the stuff that I know now. Like, I would wake up every morning and had to convince myself to go into school. I loved learning. I loved, my classmates were amazing. My teachers were fantastic. But, you know, they say it takes like 5 good things to erase like 1 bad thing. Part of the whole school experience was really bad, and I don't think all the good things made that feel better. But the one thing that I would like tell myself was, you know, this is your way of getting into medicine. This is your way of getting your dream course. This is your path to your dream job. So keep going to school, keep being patient, keep at it, you know, have trust in Allah. You'll get there in the end. Don't give up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe and comment and turn on the post notifications. It helps me a lot if you do that. I hope this answers the question of my journey to med school. It's not as interesting as, you know, having an undergraduate degree and doing a load of research and work experience like you do in other countries, but I just wanted to clarify that, and I hope it makes sense. I think that's it.